My dog used to yawn constantly, like all the time, in the middle of a walk, in the middle of training. Sometimes just sitting right next to me on the couch, close enough that I could feel the warmth off his side, and he'd just yawn. Big, slow, dramatic yawn. And I thought it was adorable. I thought, look at this sleepy little guy. What a relaxed dog I have. It took me way too long to find out that excessive yawning in dogs is a stress signal. Not tiredness, stress. He'd been telling me for months. Pick up a dog bowl, plain, every day, slightly scuffed on the bottom. Hold it. Look at it for a second. How many other things has your dog been trying to tell you that you just didn't know how to hear? Set the bowl down. Look up. When most people think of a stressed dog, they picture something obvious, a dog cowering in a corner, shaking in the car on the way to the vet. Tail tucked so hard it disappears underneath them, ears flat, the whole visual package that reads as unmistakably, undeniably distressed. But that's not what chronic stress looks like. Chronic stress is quieter. It's the dog who pants slightly more than the temperature could ever explain. It's the one who can never quite settle, circles 3 times, lies down, gets back up, circles again, like they forgot what relaxing felt like. It's the dog who follows you from room to room, not because they're clingy and sweet, which is what we tell ourselves, but because being alone for 60 seconds feels genuinely unsafe to them. And here's the thing that keeps me up sometimes. Most of the myths that create this stress are coming from neglect. They're coming from the exact opposite. Actually, I want to stop myself there, because I almost glossed over something important. It's not just that these myths come from love. It's that they come from love filtered through human logic. And dogs don't run on human logic. They run on something older and more physical and completely different from that. That gap between what we mean and what they actually receive is where the stress lives. Hold eye contact with the lens. 8 myths today, all of them ordinary. All of them happening in homes right now, including probably yours. And that's okay. That is genuinely okay because you're here. I want you to stay through all 8 because the way these build on each other matters. Number 6 especially. It's the one people push back on most. And it's also the one I'm most certain about. Drop your dog's breed in the comments. I want to know what you're working with. Let's go. Lean forward slightly. This one's easy to get wrong. You know the dog I'm talking about. The one who ricochets off every piece of furniture when you get home, who greets your guests like they've been lost at sea for 3 years and this reunion is the miracle they prayed for, who wants to play and play and play, even when they're panting so hard you can see their whole chest heaving, even when their eyes have gone a little glassy, even when every signal says stop and they just don't. We read this as joy, as personality, as zest for life. But here's the thing, hyperarousal and happiness are genuinely different neurological states, and a dog who cannot come down from high arousal isn't thriving. They're dysregulated. Their nervous system doesn't know how to find the off switch, and living without an off switch, that is exhausting for them. The tell is the dog who plays until they're running on empty and then immediately tries to play more, who bites a little too hard during a game and doesn't seem to register your reaction, whose energy tips past enthusiastic into something that looks almost frantic. The training books celebrate enthusiasm. Almost none of them explain when enthusiasm is actually a symptom, so high energy isn't always happiness. Myth 2 flips that around because low energy isn't always calmness either. This one's heavier. Picture the dog who lies quietly in the corner at every family gathering, who doesn't react to much, who seems completely unbothered while the noise and chaos swirl around them. The one everyone calls the easy one, the well-behaved one. The one everyone calls the easy one. Sometimes that dog is genuinely calm, and sometimes, and this is the part that's hard to sit with, that dog has simply learned that reacting doesn't help, that no one responds to their signals. So they've gone quiet in the way that prey animals go quiet when they've run out of options. The physical stillness of a shut-down dog is different from the relaxed weight of a truly settled one. There's no tail movement. They seem to take up less space than they should, like they're trying to minimize themselves. It looks like good behavior. It's actually a stress response. The dog everyone calls the easy one is sometimes the dog nobody was listening to. Let that land, don't rush it. So stress hides in high energy and in low energy. Myth 3 is about what happens in between, in the everyday routine itself. Routine matters. I fully believe that. But wait, there's a version of it that quietly works against you, and it's subtle enough that most people never see it coming. When routine tips into rigidity, it teaches a dog that any deviation from the expected is a threat. You know the dog who starts pacing at 5:57 because dinner is at 6, moose quarter. Who can't settle on a day when the schedule shifts even slightly. Who treats a late walk like a minor catastrophe, pacing, whining, that specific sharp look they give you that says you have failed me and I want you to know that I know it. We built that. With love and consistency, we accidentally taught them that the schedule is sacred and anything outside it is wrong. Consistency should be a comfort, not a cage. If missing dinner by 20 minutes sends them into a spiral, the routine has become the source of stress instead of the solution to it. The fix isn't chaos, it's occasional gentle variation, so they learn that deviation is survivable, that the world bending a little doesn't mean it's breaking. Even our best tools can become stressors. Myth 4 is about one of the most well-intentioned things owners do, and how it quietly teaches dread before anything has even happened. The vet is tomorrow, or the groomer, or the fireworks night you've been silently dreading for 2 weeks. And so the night before, or the morning of, you start. The extra soft voice, the longer cuddle, the "it's okay, buddy, it's gonna be fine" delivered in a tone that communicates the exact opposite of fine. Dogs don't understand tomorrow. They understand right now, and right now, your energy shifted, your voice changed pitch. Something in your face looks different from the face you were wearing an hour ago, and they file that away. When the human acts like this, something uncomfortable follows. You turn your comfort ritual into an advanced warning system. Look directly into the lens. Hold it. Don't look away. You meant to prepare them. You did prepare them, just not the way you intended. You prepared their stress response, so we can accidentally signal stress before it even arrives. Myth 5 is about what happens during stressful moments, and the one thing we do that makes everything measurably worse. Thunder starts, or the doorbell rings 3 times, or they spot something on the walk that sends them completely sideways, and we talk, constantly. It's okay, you're fine, look at me, it's just thunder, shh, come here, it's okay. The words are calm. The voice, almost always, is not. It's tight. High, too fast. And a dog who reads energy the way we read faces hears not the words but the frequency, and the frequency says, the person in charge of my safety is also scared right now. You can feel it if you've ever been through a thunderstorm with a Velcro dog. That specific weight of panic pressed against your legs, the trembling that's less like shaking and more like a frequency you feel in your own chest. Your instinct is to comfort. Their reality is that your comfort is confirming. There's something to be comforted about. You can say it's okay in 100 different ways. They only hear one version, the version your body is actually telling. Myth 6 is where most people push back on me, but I'm going to stand by it. Slow down. Mean this one. This is the hardest myth in this whole video. The dog who is anxious, reactive, stressed, and the owner's response is more affection, more gentleness, more accommodation. No rules, no expectations, no structure, because structure feels harsh and this dog has been through enough. This dog needs softness. This dog needs love. I understand that, I really do, but a dog without structure doesn't feel free. They feel responsible for everything. For deciding what's safe and what isn't, for figuring out the rules of a world that keeps changing under their paws, for protecting a home that nobody else seems to be managing. Structure isn't the opposite of love. For a dog, structure is love. It's the thing that says, I've got this. You don't have to. The most stressed dogs I've ever seen weren't in harsh homes. They were in homes where no one was clearly in charge, and the dog quietly, reluctantly, terribly, had taken the job. Pause, let that settle before moving on. Structure is protection. Myth 7 is about a specific place in the home where that protection either holds or quietly falls apart. The dog who cycles through every surface in the house. Bed, couch, armchair, the kids' rooms, back to the couch, always moving, never quite landing. You read this as freedom, as comfort, as belonging everywhere. But there's a difference between a dog who owns their bed, who walks to it with that specific settled confidence, circles once, drops down, and sighs, and a dog who floats anxiously between spots, never fully relaxing into any of them. Spatial ambiguity can quietly feed uncertainty in a dog who's already not sure where they stand. It's not about keeping them off the furniture. It's about making sure they have somewhere that is unmistakably, reliably, completely theirs. A place that means here, nothing is required of you. Here, you can stop. The last myth, myth 8, is the quietest one. It's about what we ask of them socially, and it's something almost every owner does at least occasionally. Slow all the way down here. Every word deliberate. We have this expectation, this image of what a well-adjusted dog looks like. Friendly, approachable, happy to meet strangers, good with kids, comfortable in crowds, fine with other dogs, and the low-grade shame when ours isn't, the apologies at the dog park, the he's usually so good, the gentle pressure forward anyway because we want them to be the dog we pictured. Some dogs are introverts, some dogs have histories. Some dogs have histories. Some dogs simply have a narrower social comfort zone, and that is not a failure, theirs or yours. Forcing repeated social encounters they're not comfortable with doesn't socialize them. It just teaches them that their discomfort is something they'll face alone. You can't train a dog into genuinely wanting what they fundamentally don't want. But you can teach them that their limits will be respected, that their no counts with you, and that lesson, that you are someone who listens, is worth more than any amount of forced sociability. Hold the last line. Speak like you mean it. No rushing. Pick up the scuffed dog ball. Hold it simply. No performance. Every single day you fill this without thinking about it, without needing to be reminded. It's just part of how you love them. One of 100 small things you do without realizing you're doing it. That's what this whole video is actually about. Not the myths, not the mistakes. It's about the fact that you're already showing up. You have been showing up, and now you just get to do it with a little more of their language in your hands. Stress in dogs is quiet. It doesn't make demands. It just sits there. In the yawn you thought was tiredness. In the pacing you thought was habit, in the dog who follows you room to room because somewhere along the way, the world started feeling too big to handle alone. You're not too late. You were never too late. Fill the bowl. Take the walk, and this time, watch them while you do it. Really watch. Set the bowl down gently. Silence. Fade.